Hello everybody, today we are checking out Ike Eveland and Maria Marionette covering Inkya Impulse. Now, we've heard Maria from, I believe, Cage of Desire as well as her wave song, Let's Get It Started. I believe that's the correct one. And Ike Eveland we've heard from 3 songs, his cover of Chronos, his 2 group songs, Jazz on the Clock and Hope in the Dark. So yeah, Ike Eveland has impressed me very much with his metal scream voice in Chronos. That blew me away. I'm a super big fan of his voice. And Maria has a very nice high-pitched voice that we were able to hear in Cage of Desire, as well as Let's Get It Started. And one of you actually told me that when she was singing in Let's Get It Started, she was sick. And that's crazy that she was able to sing that clearly with that consistent of a tone when she was sick. So I'm excited to see what this sounds like when she's at her full potential, or well, I suppose at her full capacity. So let's get right into this. I'm very excited to see what this is all about. In 3, 2, 1, play. Ooh, we've got some directional sound here. We're getting right into it. Did she scream with him? I have to go back. I'm sorry, I already have to go back. I have to hear that again. I know we just started, but I have to hear it again. She's doing this like whistle note over his scream. So he's got this deep guttural scream. Before in Chronos, we got to hear him. His scream was ironically quite clean. It was very full sounding. This one is very guttural. It's harsh. This one feels more distorted because whenever I hear a scream, the way I think of it is it's like if a guitar was on distortion and playing a low note. And sometimes it's a high note because there's like screams and squeals. But for most screams, I would say it's like a low, guttural, bassy note, and it's distorted. And it's essentially that guitar terminology equivalent for a vocalist. And so Ike is pulling that off beautifully. It's a very guttural, harsh sound. It's not as full as what we heard in Chronos, but that you can tell that's not by accident. He's intentionally doing it that way so that that sound is filled up by the instrumental. You can hear the guitar just chugging away beautifully, and Maria is hitting that squeal note that just fills up the mix. So we've got these dark tones, these mid tones filled up with the instrumental, and then we've got Maria just filling up those treble tones. So we've got an entire spectrum across the mix here. And we're only like 10 seconds in, so let's keep going. I'm loving that bass in the back. The bass is following the guitar. Ooh, she's going deep here. Nice. I love that. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. I want to go over that. If you heard that, she went up when he came down. So let me go back a little bit. Right here. She's down low. Did you hear that? So she's down low. She went to a lower pitch. And then as Ike came in with his screaming and filling up that bassy tone, she came up to match him. So that way they weren't overlapping on the mix. She went up and as he came in at the lower tone, so she filled up the mix instead of overlapping and conflicting. That is, I don't know if the original song does that or if I don't know how the original song is, so I can't comment on if they were just like mimicking the original, but that was beautiful. That was an excellent way to show off your awareness of all your vocalists. It's showing off that you're not just adding vocals to your tracks. You're utilizing all of them in a way that benefits the entire piece. And that's what you love to see. That's so good. Oh my god. Okay, let's keep going. And he mirrors it. Yes. Yes. And you can see as Maria cuts out, so as Maria leaves the mix and we lose out on those treble tones, then Ike comes up with his scream. He comes up in his pitch and he screams up high instead of keeping his lower tones. That's that awareness of how to manipulate your mix is perfect. Oh my god. Nice. Nice. And now she's singing out. Yes. Ooh. And listen to that guitar in the back. Nice. Nice. He screams here. She sings. He's gonna scream again. Nice. 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 Her singing is perfectly matching the instrumental up high, and yes. He's doing subtle growls now. Yes. And she's coming down low, which is why we're not getting as much screaming. And yes, and then she came back up, and now we got the screaming again. And then it's back and forth. Ooh. Nice. Yes, he went up high. That was great. Yeah, and now they're singing out. Instead of keeping it choppy, now they're elongating it. And it's, yes. Nice, and now the drum is breaking down to keep the choppiness from earlier while matching the sing-songiness of the current lines. And that's backed up by Ike screaming, because he's matching the choppiness by interrupting every single verse. Ooh. Wait. Let's go back a bit. Do you hear that? I don't think that was one vocal track per person. I think if I heard that right, I think that was 2 vocal tracks for Maria and maybe just 1 for Ike. Let's go back again. Yes, Maria, right there. Maria had 2 vocal tracks. She had her vocal track continuing from her line before. And then as Ike's scream was introduced, she did a whistle. Well, not a whistle, but a squeal over it. So we have this mid-tone of her singing, right? So she's coming out of that line and into the next sustain. And as she's going into the sustain, in that middle tone, we've got Ike backing her up on the low, and then she squeals on the high, matching all of it through the sustain. And once again, creating that spectrum to the mix. Perfect. All right, and let's hear that once more. Yes. This was a fun vocal breakdown. I like that. Ah, that was good. She's screaming these. Nice. Nice. We've got it back and forth here. No. Oh, that was yes. Oh, solo time. Nice. We've got that little pitch harmonic there. And now we've got a climb. Nice. Nice. Going back and forth. Nice. And the drums change to match it. Nice. That was beautiful. Yes, hold it out. Nice. Well, that guitar matches her perfectly because it hits those high notes and comes back down every once in a while. Nice. Nice, ended on a scream. And once again, we have her sustaining from the past line into the middle tone, and then she squeals over it to get a treble tone, and then Ike comes in on the bass tone. Ooh, I like the guitar here. Dun, 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 dun. Perfect. That was amazing. That was oh my god. That was my favorite thing I've heard from Maria, and my favorite thing I've heard from Ike. My favorite thing I've heard from both of them. Because that okay, like you can create a screamo song. You can add screaming into your metal track, but having the mastery to manipulate your mix to fit your screaming in so it always, and I mean always, sounds good. That is some serious skill, some serious talent. Let's look at the team for this. We've got, okay, so the original, this is Asobi Asobase. I've heard of this. I believe this was a comedy show, wasn't it? Wasn't this a comedy show? I need to start watching this if this is what the music is like in it. Alright, and then instrumental Jun Mitsui. Perfect. The guitars, every once in a while when Maria was singing, you could hear the guitar going on these pedal tones up high, and those high tones would just barely exceed where Maria was singing, so it'd give you that little poke, and then it would come back down under her voice so that she can take the stage again. A little poke so the guitar catches your ear, and then come back down so Maria picks it up again, and then she'd sustain it, and Ike would come in with his scream, and it would fill up the mix beautifully. It was so good. And we've got Ike. Oh my god. I'm like choking on this. Ike did the mix? Ike did the mix for this? Ike, okay, I don't know too much about all the NIJISANJI talent so far, but just from his music, Ike might be my favorite. Just because he mixed this. It's, oh my god. Oh, the mix on this was phenomenal. It was probably the best mix I've heard from all these NIJISANJI songs I've listened to, and all of them have been fantastic. But this was the best mix I've heard by far, because the understanding of where all your tones are and being able to selectively isolate them and fill them up across the spectrum intermittently. You can't do that by accident. That's not something you do by chance. That's something you do because either you have the technical understanding, or your ear is just hearing that's how it sounds good. That sounds good to them, and either that talent or that skill that's phenomenal. I'm like, dude, my heart rate is like raising. I'm so impressed with this. I am extremely impressed with this cover. My god. An excellent job from everyone who worked on this. But yeah, thank you so much for recommending this to me. This was phenomenal. This was an excellent display of vocal power, vocal control, and musical awareness. That was incredible. So yeah, thank you so much for recommending this. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to leave in the comments below anything else you'd like me to check out, and I will see you next time. Have a wonderful rest of your day.